Hello, I think about a fun one for you today. We're going to be taking a look at lightsabers, or at least home lightsabers, because real ones don't exist. So you can have any lightsaber for a price. Let's check out what you get at various price points. The first price point is free. So if you go to rummage sales or anything like that, giveaways, sometimes you can find them for free. So there's going to be some damage on it. They might or may not have lights or sound. Just be happy that you found something, assuming that it's not completely broken. Let's take a look. What you'd be looking for is something that works, that isn't completely torn apart. It's going to have some visible damage, scratches. What you really want to make sure is that the blades themselves aren't completely cracked. And I'm going to show you that in the next section when I talk about the next kind of price range. Because cracked blades are, especially these extendable ones that I have up there, because this is most likely what you're going to find. As a matter of fact, this red one on the end, we found for free at a rummage sale. So it takes time. It's all about luck. Okay, next we have the 25, well, 4 for 25 or $6 to $10 for one. So expectations of the price for used lightsabers, secondhand, some damage, but fully functional, looking for officially licensed and thicker plastic in the Saber material. Or you can buy a new set of 4 lightsabers, non-name brand. The one that I ended up purchasing is shown on here. Plastic is extendable, Saber is very thin and will break easily. Be ready to do repairs quite often with it, but overall still very fun to use. So the next price category that I kind of laid out is, I would say, 4 for 25, and that's that red, green, purple, and blue you see up there, or a second-hand one that would be in the price range of 1 for $6 to $10, and that's that officially licensed gray one we have there. And I'm going to show off the lightsabers here in a minute. So for secondhand ones, we're going to have to expect some amount of wear and tear. So like holding this up, it's obviously not new condition. It's obviously pretty old. You can see some scratches along the blade. It's well used, however, it is fully functional. You're basically looking for something that still fully extends, has no scratches, no significant types of damage, but you're going to just see some wear and tear, and preferably officially licensed products in this price range. Next, we have these sets of 4 for 25, and the price is very good, but the plastics are incredibly thin, so that's what you're expecting at this price point. You can see all the tape I've done, and a matter of fact, where is it on this one? I just noticed it. Right there. See, I need to do repairs on this one. So you can keep them going for a good long bit, but dueling and stuff like that, they're gonna break pretty easily, but it's cheap enough that it is sort of reasonable. And at this price range, you are expecting lights, sound, but again, like I mentioned, the thinner's plastic. So this is what they sound like. So just for point of reference, basic lighting effects, basic sound effects, we could hear it. But yeah, I mean, they're fine. There's nothing wrong with it. And they're quite good for the price. Now we're on to the price range of $14 to $25. At this price point, I wouldn't recommend buying a used lightsaber. You want to focus on new ones. Two examples I have listed up. Expectations at this price: officially licensed products might or might not have lights, where the bottom one on here, the Kanan Jarrus, does not have lights, versus the top one does have lighting built into the saber part. Probably no sound, but it might have sound depending on the model. What else you're going to expect is thicker plastic in the blade. Now, it's still extendable plastic and relatively thin, but it should put up a lot better than the 4 for $25. So it can take up a little bit more wear and tear with dueling your kiddos, but anything past, I don't know, elementary school age kids, they're going to bend and break. So if you're just looking for a prop for your own use to walk around with, great option. If you want some dueling stuff for your little kids, great. Older kids, no. Overall, better quality and feel for all the plastics everywhere in it. You can see that the plastic of the blue one is significantly thicker than the green one. So it just holds up to that kid abuse a little bit better. Mind, any real dueling against a stronger kid, anything like that, will break it. But like anything with this sort of plastic, it will bend, it will break eventually. And a matter of fact, you can see that this one, it has some warping right there. Again, got it secondhand, but it would happen kind of no matter what. So now we have Kanan Jarrus' lightsaber, $14, thicker plastic, no sounds. I mean, I guess it whistles through the air, but it's fine. It's great for dueling, and I guess if you care about the amount of noise your kid's getting, then this type of one is not going to make any noise. And then you can just go, you know yourself. I see nothing wrong with it. I think it's actually pretty good. And then this is a second-hand one. I think it came out like 96. Pretty good sound effects. And you can turn red. So, like in this price range, it's have realistic expectations. You're getting a little bit better quality than buying, a set of 4 for like the same price. So, if you have multiple kids, or they might have multiple things, or if you're going to duel with your kids, a set makes a lot of sense. Otherwise, they want to cosplay or whatever. All right, now we're on to the next price point. So $50 for one, or $40 for two, or $40 each for two, so that'd be $80 total. So I have my two examples over here, but let's go over the expectations at this price. First, for one Saber, you're getting officially licensed with lights and sound effects. The example I found was Kylo Ren's lightsaber, and I even had a voiceover in it, although it mostly said, "Experience the power of the dark side," that kind of thing. Better quality plastics even than the previous ones, both in the saber and the handle materials. Overall better feel, AA battery powered. Now for the $80 for two, so $40 each. It's a basic dueling saber. So this one can feature that the bottom unscrews and they can join together. It's got color changing capability. The blade is a little bit on the shorter side, but it is a polycarbonate blade, so it can put up with dueling with older kids a little bit better. Color changing, I just mentioned that. Sound effects, metal handle, USB-C charging, but it's overall a bit more basic than some of the fancier ones we're going to take a look at in a little bit. But overall, it's really good value for what it is. If you take a look at the plastics on the front, they are thicker, more like what we saw previously with the Canon Jairus one, the blue one that didn't light up. But, you know, it's still plastic. It's not really meant for dueling or whacking or really anything like that. So, you know, you need to understand it that this is more about a kid pretending that they're the character than, you know, having a real sword battles. Mine they can, but a stronger, older kid will break it. And then that brings us to the 2 for $80. I'm gonna show off the full functionality here in a second, but they can unscrew and connect to become a double-bladed lightsaber. Now, I chose these ones because they had shorter blades. You know, they're more like the kid blades, so it's, you know, perfect for a young kid. They have metal bottoms, USB-C charging. You can, you know, unscrew it and it's right in there. You know, the circuit board right there. The blade is completely replaceable with these screws. Again, I'll show it off in a second and just have it really close. But this has fixed light patterns, so it's not infinite colors. You have to choose between one of the pre-programmed lights that's in it. It's also a base lit, so it's not LED inside here. It's just a polycarbonate tube, and there's a light source at the bottom. And it shines up through the Saber, basically. The nice thing about this polycarbonate blade is that it's designed for actual dueling, so you can whack at each other all day long, but mind, it actually hurts more because there's more heft to it. So younger kid may cry if they get hit, or it might hurt your fingers if you get hit. So then we got the talking one. This is how it ends. You know, it's pretty obvious it doesn't light up uniformly through it. The bottom is much more illuminated. And it offers great play. I think this is really noisy. Like, you can hear it on the mic. Yeah. So we're going to do it without volume effects, but in a second, I'll just demonstrate. So obviously the lighting effect is a lot brighter than what we saw with the other ones because I'm much more illuminated. They're well weighted. I mean, I don't want to whack my camera. And what's it like? You know, you push the button, flickers, you know, strobe effect. Sorry, don't want to cause any seizures. But they have a lot of weight, a lot of heft in the hand, and feel, you know, really good. And for an adult, it's like a, what do they call it? Like a shorter lightsaber. So it's, you know, and it's, the light's good for indoor environments so you don't like whack, you know, light fixtures. Or it can be screwed together, and now you've got a double-sided lightsaber. Feels, you know, nice and secure. So, and then, you know, you'll screw it and it comes apart. So also with this, depending on how you push the button, so push the button, so press hold, turns it off, turns it on again, press hold, 1, 2, now you can cycle the colors, you know, they're fixed patterns, so you choose which one you like. My son likes green right now, so that's what we're going with. And then you lock it in, turn it off again, then let it flash once. Now it's high volume, medium volume, yeah, maybe I should have color changed by accident. So needless to say, for value, these are really where it's at. So getting 2 for $80 When we have duels, it's normally my son, myself, my wife. We all kind of duel, or just two of us. So then I need one more. But if there's only two, or you want to get two sets of these, it's really a pretty good option. I like these. The only trick is it might be harder to find these polycarbonate blades because they're a little bit on the short side, but you can attach the longer ones to it as the kid grows. We're on to the price point of $100 to $190. There might be some cheaper in this category, and I have listed on here a couple examples that, well, I could find. And price varies wildly based on complexity of the handle design, expectations at this price. It is a base lit lightsaber, so the lighting is still very similar to all the cheaper ones that we just take a look at, but the lighting ring inside of it is significantly better. It's a polycarbonate saber, so it can put up with dueling, and they have a wide variety of polycarbonate saber types that are a bit thicker, so it can actually put up with real dueling going at it if you wanted to. Metal handles that are adjustable, interchangeable, serviceable, that sort of thing. USB-C charging, sounds and light effects, a lot of advanced features, as well as the Bluetooth app. We're going to show that towards the end of this video. The infinite color options rather than the fixed ones we just saw in the previous 2 for $80. So you can really fine tune what colors you really want your saber to be. And I just mentioned that Bluetooth app. And the different length sabers that you can buy with the custom ones as opposed to just buying with Amazon all cost the same amount as near as I could tell. Only difference in costs really comes down to handle complexity. And of course you can just buy it off Amazon. I bought one off Amazon and one off another website, and the handle quality all appear to be about the same, so it's just that customization level that you want to focus on. And that goes into the last one, which is, or the second to last one. This is the base lit Obi-Wan Kenobi lightsaber, and it has very similar effects. So the color changing on this one will just cycle through until I click the button. So you hold it for 2 little flashes, and it will do that itself. So it continues the sound effects even while it's changing. I have a shorter blade on this, not as short as the other one, but a short, regular sized blade, I guess. They make them significantly longer, which is a little bit of a hazard inside a house. The weight of it, it's hefty. When you're getting one that's more of a movie prop, like this one, the handles aren't going to be as comfortable. So like the metal ring right there is significantly less comfortable to hold against. So, you get wear and tear. So this isn't really a dueling lightsaber. It's more for show, but it works just fine for dealing with my kiddo. Nothing serious. Polycarbonate blade has all the lighting effects. I can adjust volume, everything you'd expect. USB-C charging. It's all in the base. You just have to unscrew it. Yeah. And now the last set of pricing is at $190 plus. So I ended up purchasing, which one was it? The Skywalker lightsaber, which is like $220. And there appears to be some sort of wiggle room in this pricing, again, based on handle complexity. But what the expectation is at this sort of price point is LED lit polycarbonate saber. So that means the saber itself is illuminated rather than having a base that illuminates along the shaft. So this gives you the best color, lighting effects, and effects within the saber itself. So it looks pretty much amazing. Metal handle, same sort of thing with the previous one. USB-C charging, sound light effects that are same as the previous tier down, infinite color options, and that Bluetooth app. So if, as true to the movies, saber appearance is what you're after, this is the sort of price point you'd be looking at. But there's a sacrifice. It weighs a bit more as well as costing more. And the last one is the illuminated blade. and it's got the best color effects. We're going to compare them against each other. This is based off of Luke Skywalker. It has the same sort of disadvantages, but it's actually a little bit more comfortable to hold as the Obi-Wan, meaning this metal rings and how it fits in the hand. I did put it a shorter blade into it, but it has all the same button functionality as that one, where you have to press it for certain periods of time. It doesn't have a little light up ring, which means you can't, judge based on that. And you just want to make sure you select a reputable seller. I don't know why it's turned off. But yeah, that's a good feel. And get some good playtime with it. Okay, here's a comparison of the two. You can clearly see, based on when they're next to each other, how the illumination is significantly different between the two lightsabers. And you can see different lighting effects, so we're going to turn them off. Alright, time to turn them on. This one has a little bit of an extender range, but this just turns on. Wait. Now it's different. So, speaking of which, let's weigh them. One lightsaber from the set of 4 weighs 5.7 ounces, or 163 grams. The old classic one weighs 257 grams, and that's this one. As a note, these are the weights with batteries for one set of batteries. Kanan Jarrus's, which has no batteries, weighs 189 grams, or, let's cycle to pounds, did I pass it? 6.7 ounces. Kylo Ren's lightsaber weighs 308 grams, or 10.9 ounces. One of the set of 2 lightsabers weighs 14.1 ounces, or 401 grams for one of these. Obi-Wan Kenobi's lightsaber weighs 717 grams, or 1 pound, 9 ounces, 0.3. And the last one with the LED tube, Luke Skywalker's blade, weighs 1.8 or 1 pound, 8.9 ounces, or 705 grams. So this is the app. First, it needs to locate the saber. Depending on the sabers, it's easier for it to find within range. Oftentimes unscrewing the base makes it easier to locate. Very inconvenient. Just kind of have to play around with it. It's an unfortunate reality of using it. Okay, got it synced up. And then you get to choose from a bunch of different types of settings within it. So I got a time, end time, reset lightsaber effects, that sort of thing. And it just changes how it overall functions. I honestly haven't spent a lot of time playing around with it. Now we're going to go on to tracks. It can play music. That's kind of a cool thing that it can do, as well as its force effects. Connecting to the Saber, once again, it tends to log out very easily, gets annoying. Selecting to the bottom with the arrows, we do get to select different color patterns, and that affects the way the Saber looks. Unfortunately, I don't have a second camera to be able to film it at the same time. And in each setting, you can do some amount of customization. I actually wish that there was more customization to it, where some of the blades tend to flicker, and I could see it's causing someone a seizure. And I'd like to turn it off and just have the color and the sound and not the flashing. Unfortunately, I can't seem to figure it out because the amount of time you have to play around with the settings is like around 1 minute before it logs off and the Saber turns off. So it's, how do I say it nicely, a challenge. But it has great settings there. You can go into the force, the drag effects, so just the way different movements will make the Saber sound. So right now the push button does like blocking sounds. You got crashing effects for engaging. You got the custom color wheel so that you can lock in the specific color you want, as well as just using a standard color within it. And you can see it just logged me out. I have to do the search again. And now, as an aside, so there are officially licensed products that are in the $100 to $250 range that are the official Star Wars Sabers that are like the Black series and the Disney Saber series. And I could not verify whether they're baselit or LED lit. That is the only real question. And that brings us to the extras. So you can buy additional blades, or sabers, whatever you would like to call it. So baselit ones cost about $25 a piece. And here's some variety of sizes. Comes in a variety of lengths. So for indoor use, which is how my family particularly uses it, 28 inches works the best. The shorter ones for that 2 for $80 are even shorter than 28 inches. I'm not sure where to find it, but I can always replace it with a 28-inch version of the Saber. I did check that. So that's really good. And for the NeoPixel replacements, they're $80. So you can see that it's significantly more expensive than $25. So if it breaks, it costs a lot more to replace it. So if you're just looking for basic use and run around, cosplay, whatever, the more basic baselit ones are probably the way to go. But if you just want it to look as pretty as possible, walk around your house, use it as a flashlight, I don't know, you decide. The NeoPixel really is awesome looking. You can also buy them off of Amazon. Pricing appears to be similar. So which lightsaber is the right one for you? Well, that's for you to decide and what your goals are for it. If it was me and I had kids that were over the age of 5, probably 6-ish, I would choose the set of 2 and get a couple of those. If you're getting something for yourself and then want an extra one for your kids or something like that, well, then I buy one of the more expensive ones. If you're just looking for fun time for younger kids, well, get the cheapest one. It's in the set of 4. They won't notice that it's not like officially licensed and looks like the character's lightsabers. If you're going for realistic cosplay, young kids, cheaper price, shop around it. Find used if you can, or buy new. I'm not here to judge. Just have a good time. Enjoy your Star Wars.